Welcome to the highly anticipated state of the series of the Flyers Penguins. And who else to break it down? With an OG guest of the Upper Bowl podcast. You've seen him in blogs talk about the Flyers on barstoolsports.com. Talk about the Eagles, talk about the Sixers, talk about everything. He had the podcast called The Crease Drive, a Lax podcast that he was a part of. He does meat sweats and sells his barbecue under Maze Barbecue, which you should definitely buy. I've been trying to buy, and maybe you could ship it down to South Florida at least. I'd like to welcome back to the show. He hasn't been on since episode 88, but not really. Episode 193 or one something. Probably friend of the program, my favorite friend of the program, my favorite blogger from Barstool Sports. Jordie, how we doing? And I got to say, are we officially back with the Flyers?
Well, yeah, Trev, thanks for having me back on. I mean, what a time.
Yes.
For Philadelphia sports right now. I mean, come on. Like, all right, let's get the bad shit out of the way right now. The Phillies look like absolute ass at the moment, but everyone in Philly knows how this thing goes. You can't have all four teams rolling at the same time because the wheels are going to fall off at some point. So the Phillies, if they have to sacrifice themselves right now for the Flyers to be back, I'm not a huge basketball guy. I think anyone who follows me knows that. But, to see the Sixers win last night, wearing the 0-1 AI throwbacks, like just kind of sparked a little something in me. Listen, I love to hate. I love to hate. And right now, there's no better time to hate in Philadelphia than when we've got Flyers, Penguins, Sixers, Celtics, Braves coming into town as well. So I am fueled by hatred right now. And it is just, I mean, you can see it in my face right now. I'm so red. Just for anyone who is watching right now, I just got done a run and I'm a pretty sweaty guy. So even after I shower, it still takes a little while to cool down.
That's me too anyways also.
But let's just say that I'm red in the face right now because I am brimming with hatred, seething hatred, especially for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Same too. Are we back? I sent this tweet out to you on Monday. Are we back? You sent out the gif of Sean Couturier smiling. Are we officially back?
Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves here a little bit.
I know. I want to say, when I say we're back, are we both have grown up with the late 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s? Can we say yet? Am I jumping the gun? Would you say?
So you know what? Like I'm willing to say yes, we are back with that because I went back and I started thinking to myself because the last 5 years of Flyers hockey was such a grog to get through. Yes. It was a miserable existence. And I mean, for me, like I was a hockey guy my whole life. Like I got on a pair of skates for the first time. I was like 18 months old. So I loved hockey from the moment I could walk. And the past 5 years, it's been tough to even like watch the sport because I'm just like, man, the Flyers are so irrelevant here that it's like it took away some of my love of hockey. And it's so back right now. So like that aspect of it is so back. Like just seeing that Flyers crest on the ice and being like, let's fucking go, boys. Like that is back. And you talk about terrible eras in Flyers hockey.
Yes.
You go back to the pre-Lindros years, that 89, and then obviously Lindros was there a little bit at the start of this, but the 89 to 94, they missed the playoffs 5 straight years in a row. The next 25 years, they only missed playoffs pretty much every single year towards the end of it until we got to like 2020. It was like an every other year type of thing. Yeah. They only missed the playoffs 5 times during that 25-year stretch. Then they go another 5 years without making. So like, if I'm just like kind of following that trend, if I'm noticing that trend, we've got 25 years of really good hockey coming up here. Now, I don't know where it goes from here.
We don't know either.
I'm still like, we can talk about this a little bit where do you fall under the, hey, let's see the Flyers make the playoffs versus how nice would it have been for another couple years of a rebuild to like really build a true cup contending team. I'm still not fully decided on that, but like it's just nice to have 1, playoff hockey back, and 2, like just feel like I love this team again.
That's what it means for me. Like I tell you this, I told you this before. I went through a nasty breakup and then seeing the Flyers like, okay, they hired Tocchet and they did this and they did this. Like, oh. And I went to the second game of the year. They played the first game of the year. They played in South Florida. I was like, okay. They looked competitive. They were competing, as I always go by. Like I want them to compete at least and be entertaining. And it was like, okay, I'm gonna watch at least. And the third game versus Florida, their fourth game versus third game versus Florida, like, oh, they could play with the big boys at least. And it was like, okay, this is not going to be a shit show season. That's what we all expect. Am I right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. And I think, the beginning of every year is filled with a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
You're coming off the first year of Michkov, and you've got Tak coming in, and it is really exciting. But then the wheels start to fall off a little bit, and yeah, that lines up with a Vladar injury. So like obviously that makes a ton of sense. But like the wheels start falling off, and all of a sudden, like it's just so easy to fall into like here we go again. Because the past like few years, like the Flyers, they always come out of the gates hot because they're a young team. They've got a bunch of excitement, right? They're going up against these teams where they're like, hey, like we have nothing to lose. Like we're excited about the game. We've got a ton of energy. We're going out there trying to prove ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a good start to the season. It's been a good start to the season the past few years in a row. And then they kind of hit a wall, and you're like, well, now they're going to put themselves in a hole that they're never going to be able to climb themselves out of. And we've fallen into that cycle of hot start gets everybody excited, fall into a hole where you can't climb yourself out of, but then a little late season resurgence where you take yourself out of a running to get a first overall pick. And it's just like, like January this year, it was really tough to not feel like we were seeing the same exact thing again. And I think, we've been seeing a lot of people, especially with all the fucking radio shows coming in nowadays, being like,
you can name them. I don't mind you do.
I mean, like all the, the afternoon shows and like, I mean, 97.5, yeah, they're the flagship program of the Flyers. So like some of those guys are tuned in, but like, I hate seeing people come on now and be like, well, how about all you Flyers fans who like didn't believe in this team? How about all you Flyers fans who said like this team didn't have a chance? And it's like, well, yeah, like you would have said the exact, like if you were following this team throughout the whole past 5 years, you'd be saying the same exact thing too, that this team doesn't have a chance because they've done the same thing year after year where they fall off and all they do is climb themselves out to a point where they're now,
are they in a playoff spot or are they not in a playoff spot?
And you're picking 7 to 10 in the draft. And it's like, you would have said that same exact thing. Like, I don't think that there's any fault on Flyers fans who are like, well, here we go again. And then all of a sudden they go on this run that like nobody could have seen coming. Like, yeah, you could like lie and be like, oh, I saw this coming the whole way. Or you could just be dumb. And like one of those people who are just like, I always believe in my team, no matter what, like they're going to get it done. And it's like, all right, well, like, yeah, like you're just like you're a fan of the team, but like you're not like thinking with your brain. But they went on this run and this unbelievable run after the Olympic break, and like it's just so good to see this team be able to lock in like that and just keep going. Like even you, like they at no point did they ever get ahead of themselves, and no point were they ever like, you know what, like we're really good right now. Like we've got this thing go, because the moment that you start to feel comfortable, boom, it all goes out the window again. Like they just
like Columbus did almost.
Yeah, exactly. And then, you've got Bones ready to just bag skate everyone on their way to the airport on the exit meetings.
Yep.
But
which I hope it did happen, by the way. It would be perfect anyways for content wise.
Oh, dude, like I'm sure they were, I don't know, was it a home game for their last game of the regular season?
It was a home game versus the Bruins,
yeah. I mean,
and
that's a little tough because then guys can just get out of town pretty quick. If that was an away game to close out the season, they'd be on the tarmac doing wind sprints.
True, very true. But it's been a hell of an entertainment for all of us anyways, and you probably would have blocked it immediately.
Yeah, I mean, that would be... That, I mean, if I'm thinking about tarmac content pieces throughout the NHL history, Gerard Gallant getting fired.
Yep, by the Panthers.
And then that, I think that those would have been the two big ones.
It would have been fucking nuts anyway. So who's been your most excited to see? Was it Porter Martone the whole year? What do you say? Him getting the call up after Michigan State get eliminated?
Yeah, I mean, obviously everyone should be super excited about Porter Martone. I mean, he's just like, he's everything that you want to see in Flyers hockey. And like, he's a guy who, like last year when, the Flyers are doing their thing where it's like, dude, there's absolutely no chance they're going to get the first overall pick. And that was around the time where James Higgins was like the consensus number one guy. And then he had a big time fall off after that. But like, Higgins was like the guy who everyone like tank for Higgins. And in my brain, I'm looking around and I'm like, dude, like the Flyers aren't going to get the first overall pick, but if they can find a way to either get Anton Frondell or Porter Martone, like that's going to be a huge get for this team. And the fact that he was able to fall to 5, like I was thinking like I was thinking 1, 2, 3 was going to be Higgins, Frondell, Martone in like one variation or another of that trio. And when like he felt like, I mean, like Michkov falling to where he did, Martone falling to where he did. It's like the Flyers didn't really do a true tank and rebuild the same way that we've seen teams, who get these first overall picks, like Colorado went through, like Tampa went through, like Pittsburgh went through, like Buffalo went through. I don't know if Buffalo wasn't necessarily a tank as far as it was like they were just in the abyss of hell. But all these teams that, they tank, they get their first overall, they get someone in the top 2 or 3 within like the next couple of drafts. And all of a sudden you have your core to build around. The Flyers didn't do that, but they still ended up with the guys who you could have gotten if you went that route. Like Michkov, before Russia invades Ukraine. Yeah. Michkov, Bedard are 1, 2 in that draft. And like, I mean, you go back to the first World Junior before it got canceled due to COVID. Michkov's leading that tournament in points. Bedard's leading it in goals. Like they're right there neck and neck. Yeah. If Russia doesn't invade Ukraine, we're talking Michkov's 2 at worst, and he was able to drop to the Flyers. Martone, because that draft just got so, and obviously Schaefer turned out to be like that guy. Like that ended up being a great number 1 pick for the Islanders, but because of the way that things shook up in that draft, now you get Martone, who like I thought could have easily been a number 2 overall guy. So you got your guys. So excited to see him called up. I mean, what a fucking start to his career he has had. And I think like, I think for a guy like that, and obviously like guys like Bump and Barkey and all these young guys who have come up here, like they weren't around for the past few years of dog shit Flyers hockey. So like they don't know. They're just young, dumb, full of cum. Like
young, dumb, and fun hockey, which we all want.
Like they don't really know any better. Like you can see how all these lean years have really like worn on guys like Konechny and Couturier. Like, I mean, you can hear a couple months ago where Couturier's like, he's in a post-game interview and he's like, I'm just like,
it's Konechny. Actually, Konechny said that.
Did I? Yeah, I misspoke there. I probably said Couturier just because
he would say that. I feel if it was back in the day, at least.
Yeah. Coots doesn't really say much these days anymore. But yeah, TK saying like, man, like I just we want to get to the play, and like you can see like he's jaded. Like these years have worn down on him. It's been really tough. It's been a grind, and all of a sudden you get all these guys coming in where they don't know any better, and all they know is just go, and like all they feel is like, dude, like we can go in there and we can beat anybody. You get the Bump and the Barkey call ups and. After the Olympic break, like they go on a run, 26, 27 games, an unbelievable run. And all of a sudden, like these guys have this sense of belief where, dude, like drop the puck and we can go out there and play with anybody. And like, because they don't know any better. And
which I like,
which is great. Like there's a lot to be said about that. Like, obviously, when we get into like this actual series, we can talk about all the playoff experience that the Penguins have, because they have, They have everything, but there is something to be said about just a young, dumb, fun team who doesn't know any better. And I think that just injects some extra life into those guys like Couturier and Konechny and Sanheim, who like, maybe the years were wearing down on them a little bit, but it's like they show up to the rink now and it's like walking inside to like greet your puppy, where like your puppy's just like so excited and like you can't help but be excited about it too. Where like, like TK he definitely felt really worn out and jaded earlier in the year when he had that post-game interview. And, now, you see his celebration after the Flyers clinch that playoff spot. You see the celebrations when Porter Martone scores his first goal on Easter. Like you see everything, and like, they're just a really happy hockey team right now, which, I know
we haven't had it forever.
Yeah. And like, listen, like at the end of the day, happiness doesn't win you hockey games, but it sure as shit is going to help you along the way, especially, you got to go over to Pittsburgh, play those first 2 games on the road. Like this team loves playing on the road because
I love.
They love being together. So like right off the bat, just like going out on the road to start the playoffs does not scare me at all. Like I think it's actually a great thing.
Like I usually am like scared whenever Flyers go on the road. Like I've been jaded. I saw Philly get blown out 7-0 to Tampa 2 years ago. I was like, okay, I'm not going to do a road game for a while, except for South Florida. And I got I texted you. I was like, kind of want to go to these 2 LA games. I think these are going to be meaningful games, anyways. And they showed up when you said they just love playing on the road. And the big road game I say this year was the Minnesota game off the back-to-back. It was the home game at Washington, and they went to the road and they beat Minnesota on a shootout. That's that's a scheduled loss any day times Tuesday. What do you think?
Yeah, and I mean, like it just the way that these guys are approaching these games, where like they're a bunch of kids going out there and playing hockey. Like it's nothing more, nothing less, and they're going out, they're having fun. Mm-hmm. And it's really fun to watch as a fan.
Isn't it kind of weird that we've always said we don't want any more former Flyers taking control, but when you look at it, Danny Briere, one of our favorite Flyers from the late 2000s, early 2010s, Keith Jones, who was a radio knucklehead, who's just also TV guy, and now Rick Tocchet, another former Flyer, taking control on the bench. What would you say about that if I asked you that 10 years ago?
I mean, what would I say about that if you asked me that 2 months ago? Like mm-hmm. 2 months ago, it's a completely different conversation. Right now, I mean, you're seeing all the pieces fall into place. You're gonna be able to, listen, like not everything has been great. Like we're
off on the power play still, which is still
off on the power play, and like. Yeah, like maybe it took Talk a little while to, switch Michkov over to right wing, to start playing Zegras at center. But like it just a couple little things right there just opens up this whole new world of possibility. Like, there was such a logjam at the wing position. Yeah. You got to make a tough decision to trade Bobby Brink. It's not like they're missing him at all, and it's not like Minnesota needs him at all. So like that opens up this spot for Porter Martone to come in. Moving Zegras over to the center now allows you to have Forster, Martone, Tippett, Konechny, like all on your top 6 out there, because you don't have to waste another wing spot. Zegras at the center, and like so, like the thing about Taka is it's. The way that he was addressing the media was very off-putting as a fan. Mm-hmm. And like, it just seemed like he was being this like stubborn prick 24/7. And it's just like, dude, like shut up. Like you had one good year in Vancouver. What do you know?
Yeah.
But then the more this thing goes on, and like the more like the Flyers social channels are like starting to show more clips of Tocchet in the locker room and how he gets those guys going, like all of a sudden you're starting to see like, all right, yeah, like, Maybe we just never got a chance to see the right side of Rick Tocchet during those first couple months of the season, because like this is the Rick Tocchet that everyone hoped he would be when they made that hire. And like obviously like the old boys club, it's tough. Like no more former Flyers.
Yeah, we've been saying that for
first off. Well, here's the thing. One thing, Chuck Fletcher was not a former Flyer, and he sucked.
Yes,
he is, and I mean,
do you see the rumor?
The rumors about him. I mean, dude, if he ends up in Toronto, that would be. I will dance around.
We will light a fire. We'll do some other stuff. We'll make some meats and stuff. We may have a parade, by the way.
But yeah, but like, I mean, the thing that, and obviously Danny is going to get a little bit of guff for how the Cutter situation went down. And like, obviously, like think about where this team would be right now, like with a 40 goal scorer on there. But also like, I mean, obviously, maybe Briere and Jonesy didn't handle that situation perfectly, but also like maybe Cutter's just a fucking, maybe he's just not the right guy. And like, listen, I don't care what type of guy you are. If you score 40 goals in the National Hockey League, you score 40 goals in the National Hockey League. But, it just like looking at the way that this team is right now, and obviously the chemistry that's there in the locker room, like, maybe it's a whole different beast with Cutter in the mix. So, it's tough to see him score 40 in Anaheim. Obviously, you go back to the Fletcher days, and it's tough to see, Cole Caulfield score 50. But, I don't think that right now the Flyers necessarily need a 40 and 50 goal scorer, because you've got Vladar in net. Like you've got a guy who you can depend on, is rock solid in net. I mean, what a grab by Danny Briere. And listen, like, did he get lucky? Like Sure.
Yeah, he got lucky.
I don't think anyone saw the signing of Dan Villar to be like, oh, Philly finally has their savior in net. But it turned out to be that. And like you gotta be good to get lucky. Like you gotta, he saw something that like obviously big frame.
Yeah. He's the type of goalie everyone's going for now these days. Big guy.
And he's one of those guys where it's like, hey, if we get him and he turns out like he can turn out to be really good. I don't, no one was ever like, this is a great signing. This is solving all the problems. But like, dude, like, I mean, think about, we have a playoff series to get to in the next couple days here, but just, we'll put a pin in this one. Look into next year when you've got Zivgar. I don't even know how to pronounce his name yet. With all these,
I'm not going to even try. We'll leave it to Anthony Sanfilippo.
Zivragan, Zavgarin. He's putting up unbelievable numbers in the K, and looks like he's on his way to coming over to North America next year. So I mean, the tandem in the net next year should be even better.
Let's hope so. Let's hope we have a great goalies, which we haven't had in forever anyway. Let's be honest here. All right. Should we get down to this playoff series, which we've been hyping up since forever?
Let's do it.
Do we even count the 2018 game? Because I was at game 2 anyways, in game 5.
Yeah, I was at one of them. I forget which one I was at. But yeah, listen, the 2018, that series was
a boat race.
Yeah, but just like that was, I mean, that right there was the beginning of the end. Like, I know that they made the playoff in 20, but like, I can never bring myself to count 2020 to count for anything. So for all intents and purposes, like 2018 was the last time the Flyers were in the playoffs. And just really just that last bit of like, damn, this team has like nothing to give us anymore. And, obviously a bunch of pieces start moving around in the few years after that. But, you look at on the Pittsburgh side of things, that's the last time that they've won a playoff series.
Yeah.
So, we can talk all like, you're not going to find anybody in Philly who appreciates, respects, and loves Sidney Crosby as much as I do. It's tough to admit. I'm a big Crosby guy. Like he's the epitome of what a hockey player is to me. Obviously, maybe some early career antics, whatever. I mean, dude, he's a 19-year-old kid getting fucking punished every single game. Hatcher. Yeah, like you're gonna start to be a bit of a whiny prick for a little bit, but like he's everything. And like Crosby, Malkin, Letang, they obviously
were there.
They
Kessel was there too.
But they have 20 years together. They have 3 cups together. But like you can talk all about the playoff experience that you want. Just because you have playoff experience doesn't mean that you're automatically going to win everything, because those 3 guys, the last time that they've won a playoff series is 2018. So, I think you can kind of look back at that and be like, yeah, like obviously there's something in Sid that fires up even more when he plays against the Flyers in the playoffs. It's like 36 points in 23 playoff games.
Pretty much.
Yeah, not a big deal. I mean, most points against the Flyers in career history. Yeah, the guy loves to play against the Flyers, but never played against Rasmus Ristolainen in the playoffs. That's for damn sure.
He's played Travis Sanheim too in that first deep pairing, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't gone up. I mean, so yeah, like their playoff experience and having those wins over the Flyers. I mean, Sid's done it in 08, 09. Obviously 12,
18.
We'll always go back to 12 as like the epitome of that era of Flyers hockey. Like that was awesome. But
we sucked right after the Devils anyway.
Yeah, but because we killed each other within that Penguin series. But yeah, so I mean, he has the 3 playoff series wins against the Flyers, but like, I don't think that anyone is going into this game who's playing the game thinking about any of that. Like, at least not on the Flyers end. Like, obviously, yeah, like the Penguins get to be like, hey, like we have said, he's the Flyers killer. Like, this is awesome. But the guys on the Flyers aren't being like, oh, Sid got us in 2018 and he got us in 2000. Like,
no, Porter Martone's like, cool, whatever. Let's play the game anyways. Or Denver Barkley, cool, let's play the game anyways.
Yeah, Porter Martone's like still flying back to Lansing, Michigan to like get the rest of his clothes. Like he's not thinking about what Sidney Crosby did to the Flyers in 2018.
Exactly. Like Barkley or Bump and whatever is like, cool. Like let's go on the ice. Let's go play 60 minutes, see what happens,
Yeah.
So, what's your biggest thing that you want to promote anyways? I think I saw your tweets that you don't want to say a few things, so I'm going to give you this platform. Jordie?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of things you've tweeted. I've retweeted it because I think we totally agree. I'm trying to get the juju back on our side anyways.
Oh, well, are we talking about like
the chance?
So like that's the thing. Like it's tough for me because I am a Crosby guy, but like obviously this series I hate him, and like obviously anytime he plays against the Flyers I hate him. But like the Crosby sucks chance is just that's something that's just never made any sense to me at all. Especially because like every single time he kills us. The guy kills us, and it's like, dude, like don't poke the bear. Like you can boo him, I guess, if he touches the puck like that. That's
do the booing. That's I'm fine. Like do what you do with Cutter Gauthier at least.
Yeah, like that's fine. But like I don't know, there's just something about the Crosby sucks chance that just it leaves such a pit in my stomach and a bad taste in my mouth. And I'm like you guys, when I hear the Crosby sucks chance, and listen, I know everyone knows that he doesn't actually suck. Like I know, oh, we know that he doesn't suck, but we're saying that he sucks because we hate him because he plays for the Penguins. And it's like, dude, but you're not a ball knower because you don't know that unlocks the beast in him that is like always just ready to completely take over. Like there's something about those words registering in his brain where he's just like, fuck you, like you guys are dead now. You're dead. And like you shouldn't have said it. All you had to do was not say those two words over and over again, but you said it and now you're dead, and it's like, I don't know, man. It's like a kid who just won't stop putting a fork in the electric outlet. It's like you're gonna get got, but you're just too dumb or too stubborn to be like, and like, I don't know, man. It's the one thing that I have a really, I love Philly fans.
I do too.
I love that we're dirt bags. I love that we're, but like, I don't know. I don't think it makes you soft to not want to chant Crosby sucks. Like I think like you can turn on your brain for one series and be like, listen, like, we don't need to get in this guy's face because it doesn't face him. Like it just historically speaking, we've had our opportunities to get into Crosby's head. We've had plenty of chances to emotionally.
It's never worked.
It doesn't work. And it's not going to work now. So just do not do the Crosby sucks chance. People are gonna do the Crosby sucks chance. Like there's nothing you can do about it. And all you can hope for is just like, I don't know, maybe if you're in the section and people are chanting Crosby sucks, like just start like making the most ridiculous noises to try to drown it out a little bit. But yeah, I mean, they're gonna happen. I just really wish that they wouldn't because time and time again, he has proven you're dead once he hears those words.
I'm just one like to say, like, if we don't do it, that's fine. Because I just want to beat the Pittsburgh Penguins just for my own joy. If you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, and like listen, like chant it after we win. Chant it after the series. And even that I don't love because like, dude, the guy's had unbelievable career, and this could probably be the last time he's in the playoffs. So like maybe give him a little bit of a better send off than that. But like, whatever, fuck him. Like it is what it is. But like, just don't do it during the game when he has an opportunity to have the puck on a stick and just blow it by guys.
Yeah, we don't need that anyways. Who's your X factor for the Flyers and the Penguins this week when we start finally? Because this NHL bullshit is not giving us schedules is ridiculous, by the way.
Dude, it's really tough. I'm just because the busy schedule at home, too many kids. I have way too many kids. Wife's a track coach, so she's always got like meets. So I'm all over the place, and I really would love to have this schedule hammered out by now, and just the NHL dropping the ball. They'll give it to us. They'll put the Flyers on a bus to Pittsburgh and have them play 5 hours later. I think. I mean, listen, I would love either Tippett or Forster are those guys who I think can really break open the game for the Flyers. Like obviously Martin, I'm super excited to watch Martin, and I would love if he's been a little pass happy lately, and it makes sense. I mean, he's a kid who's coming into has 9 games in the NHL. Like he's gonna be a little, hey, like here you go. Like he's gonna defer a lot. I would love like if the Flyers, if they just tell him like, dude, like shoot every time you have the chance, and we'll tell you when it's time to stop shooting. But like, I'm not going to say Porter Martone's going to be an X factor in a
No.
playoff series when he's been here for 2 weeks. Michkov has been having an unbelievable bounce back second half of the year after the Olympic break. He's been, the way that he's producing, but I still think like being on that line with Cates as a center, it doesn't. He leads the Flyers in points over the last 26 games, but I still think like that's not the best spot for him in the lineup to be a total like X factor in this series. Like it's gonna be Forster or Martone. So either Tyson Forster shot. What did I say? Forster or Martone? Forster or Tippett?
Forster or Tippett, you said.
It's gonna be Forster shot, or it's gonna be like when Tippett gets going, like there are hints of McDavid in there. Like you can see the McDavidness in the way that he moves on the ice when the puck is on a stick. The only thing is like McDavid has him by like 1 mile per hour more.
Yeah.
But that's the mile per hour that it's like nobody can keep up with. Like that's why McDavid's McDavid. And that's why Owen Tippett's Owen Tippett. Like there's just like that one extra small burst that, it might not even be a full gear. It's just like a little tiny burst.
Like a nitrous oxide almost.
Yeah, because like Tippett had one.
The power play goal versus Detroit.
Well, yeah. So the power play goal against Detroit was nasty, but he had a rush against how am I already blanking on
LA, Anaheim?
No. Second against second to last game of the season where they clinched. Why am I already? Carolina. He had a great rush against Carolina, and then he picks it up kind of halfway through their own zone, carries it, like just carves his way through the neutral zone, and then like right as he gets inside the blue line, kind of gets tipped away, and it's like that's where that little extra burst he could have really turned the corner. McDavid power move to the front of the net, and he doesn't have that, but like I think that he has enough to do it a few times when necessary, and like. Now's more than necessary. Like obviously having Forster back is like massive for this team. I mean, he's so I think he's the best player on this team. Like the 200-foot game. He's always making great plays with the stick and the defensive side of the game. He hustles all over the place, and then the shot is the shot. And I mean, dude, like Crosby has told Tocchet how much he's a fan of Tyson Forster from the World Championship. So like when you're getting that praise from Crosby, like obviously you're a nasty player. One of those two guys is going to be the guy who has a big series, and that's I think who's your guy in your defense you're going to be that you're going to keep your eye on the most for the Flyers? Am I crazy to say I have a weird feeling Draisaitl may have a good series? Oh, you're saying in a good way.
In a good way.
No, I mean, Drysdale's been playing unbelievable.
That's like kind of like with my dude. Like I kind of like this Drysdale kid. He's improved from the last couple of years.
Yeah, and that's just like kind of it's tough nowadays with so many guys coming into the league who are just studs right out of the gates.
Yeah,
where it really makes it difficult for like years ago, like people are never talking about a teenager coming into the league. Like everyone talks about how long it takes for a defenseman to really acclimate themselves and learn the NHL game.
Yeah.
Drysdale's right in that time frame where it's like, all right, like now you're really figuring it out. His skating is there now to like he's the way that he moves is he's got that Makar, he's got that Quinn Hughes-esque. I mean, he's probably like a Quinn Hughes light. But like he's seen it well. Like I would just love for one defenseman to just be able to quarterback that power play.
Yeah.
And it seems like it should be Drysdale, but it's just like it just doesn't really work out that well. I'm tired of seeing Risto on the power play.
Me too.
They need to figure out something to do with that. I like Ristolainen. I think one, I'm happy for him that he gets to play in the playoffs. Two, I think he does great work 5-on-5, but it's just it's not there on the power play.
Would you put Stanheim back there, you think?
Yeah, I wouldn't, I think at some point it's just like, what else can you do?
Yeah.
And I don't want to see York on the ice any more than he actually is.
I can't stand that dude, actually. He's reminding me of a certain defenseman we both could not stand. Brandon Manning.
Oh, no. I mean, maybe the way that he. Am I
crazy to say that?
Yeah, but like I thought that the thing that I hated about Brandon Manning is like he would just like Flyers are down like 5-0, and all of a sudden he'd like try to start a fight, and it's like, dude, like
Get out of here.
It's too little, too late. Like get lost. No, I will. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, Trevor! I thought I had blacked that name out of my head for so long. I completely forgot that Brandon Manning existed, and then you just brought him back to the.
You want to know why? You posted like name me a random Flyer, and I thought of that, and I came you for that one, and you probably would like, God damn it, Trevor! I never want to see that guy again.
Yeah, man. I mean, and to think like he could be the one depending on where McDavid's career ends up points wise, like he could be the deciding factor on why he's where he's at on the list for what he did to McDavid his rookie year.
Is it Andrew McDonald then? Another one?
Yeah, like I would say like that, like that's where I thought that you were going with that one, where it's just like the tools are there, but it's not
there.
It's not there. It's not working.
I apologize for bringing up that name again. I will never do that again.
Yeah. I mean, I see this little red button to exit this interview right now, and I'm so close to hitting it.
What you should do if you see me again, you just give me a cross check in the back anyways, like Brandon Manning would do to somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you should do to me.
Skate away and sulk.
Yeah, so I'll just be on the floor like McDavid with a broken collarbone at least. So what do you think of what do you think about Dan Muse? Is you think he's a good coach, or what do you think, honestly?
I mean, it's yes, he has to be. Like, I don't know. It's always tough, like judging hockey coaches, especially when you're on like coaching a team. Like you're looking at what Torts is doing right now with Vegas.
Yeah,
and it's like when you have guys on the ice in that locker room who are skilled. 2 know what they're doing. Like 3 are like pros. Like they know, like how much do you actually need to do as a coach? Like they know what to do. So Torts can just kind of step back and be like, you guys do what you need to do. And like, if I feel like I need to step in, I'll step in. Now here's the thing. It takes a good coach to be able to notice that, to be able to know like, hey, I don't need to control every little aspect of this. So like, I don't know, like I don't know nearly enough about the Penguins to be like, what is Dan Muse doing behind the bench? Like, what are his systems? What's he put in play that's got the Penguins back it? No, but what I'm saying is, so like I don't know how to judge him as a coach like that, but like to be able to give those guys the ability to be like, hey, I know what you guys are capable of. Go out there and play your game. And if, the trains are getting off the track a little bit, I'll kind of guide you back in the right direction. And I think that they're just, you spend so many years with the same guy behind the bench, you need to change a voice. And sometimes like, you don't need to change a voice. Like you just need to bring a guy in who doesn't really say much at all unless he like actually needs to. And so, that kind of seems like, just looking at him, that seems more of his personality, where he's going to be the guy who is letting things play out. And when he needs to step in and kind of guide some things on the right track, that's what he's going to do. But he's not like doesn't seem like he's a rah-rah guy.
He's not no Scotty Bowman, at least.
No, not at all.
Should we be worried about his Ben Kindle kid at least, or Justin Brazeau, you think?
Here's the thing. At the end of the day, the Penguins are always going to have the thing that you can rely on. The Penguins are always going to have Crosby. They're always going to have Malkin. And then they're always going to have some random ass dude who no one ever expected to be great, who comes in and just like lights shit up and puts in like 30 goals.
Random goal.
Yeah. But like 30 goals and 40 assists, like just out of nowhere. Just
like a Tyler Kennedy almost.
Yeah. Like a Tyler Kennedy, Jake Gensel is like that kind of guy. Like just out of nowhere, this guy who all of a sudden you're on the team with Crosby, and all of a sudden now you're a stud.
Yep.
So yeah, like there's going to be a guy who ends up kind of killing the Flyers for at least a game or two here, where you're just like, damn, like we locked up Crosby, we locked up Malkin, like lost one guy, and
fucking Ben Kindle kid.
Yeah, and it's like, well, that's
hockey.
That's hockey. Like that's what happens. That's what happens when you play against the Penguins. But I don't know, man. It's hard for me to say like this series is just about the Flyers, but like it is. Like you go out, like I don't think that the Flyers are a team that is going to, on paper, match up great. Again, like you're not going to be like looking at, all right, like because Couturier, he's older, he's fourth line now. Like we don't have like the guy. All right, this line is going to shut them down.
No, you're not going to have that. No,
like you don't have that anymore. So it's just like, but like the whole team plays in a way where, you know, they're going to have their chances. They're going to limit some chances. Like the whole. So it's, I don't necessarily think that this is going to be a game that's about one player here, one player there. Like I just think it's about, you know, the Flyers. Like you're going to get down 2-0 at some point in the series.
Yeah. How are you going to respond?
But like this, for some reason, this team's always just like, we're down 2-0. All right, someone's going to score the next one. Yeah. And then after that, someone will score after that. And all of a sudden it's a tie game. So I think definitely with the Flyers in general, but I think especially with this series, it's more just team versus team as opposed to who's going to play. Yeah.
What do you think? Do the Flyers have a good chance, you think? Because I think this is probably the most even series the Flyers Penguins have had in maybe 25 years.
Yeah, I mean, I listen, I love Stuart Skinner in net for the Penguins. Like I think that's pretty exciting for me. That's enticing. Like, I mean, you look at what happened. Like we talk a lot about Crosby, Malkin, Letang spending all that time together. They haven't done much since Fleury hasn't been there. And obviously Matt Murray was the guy in 16 and 17, but like just having Fleury's presence around, like they've only won one playoff series since Fleury's been in Pittsburgh. So like that's you know, something of the equation just isn't quite lining up the way that it needs to in Pittsburgh over those last 8 years. And so, you know, the goalie's huge. And if, you know, you get a couple to blow by Skinner and you can kind of start to put a little bit of doubt in there and he can think to himself, damn, like I just
have Rick Tocchet call Paul Maurice up, see what get those shot sheets from the Panthers against the Oilers anyways. It'd be good to go. Yeah.
He's already getting help from Pete DeBoer. He can get help from the whole league.
Definitely, for sure. Jordie, what's going on with Maisie Barbecue, which I've kind of hit you up a few times. You shipped to Florida. What's going on with that? Your new business venture, by the way. I want to have you talk about that, by the way.
Yeah, just you know, doing a whole bunch of barbecue on the side, trying to cook you know, pretty close to weekly. You know, get a few people to order a brisket, a few people to order a pork butt, a couple of racks of ribs, throw it on the smoker. Doing some pop-ups here and there. So I mean, I love cooking barbecue. I don't even like love eating barbecue that much. Like I like the thrill of like cooking it and like being like, I did that is really what gets me going on that one. So it's fun to cook every week. So that's been fun. Maisie's Barbecue on Instagram, MAIZIE. There we go. It's my dog. It used to be Bully Barbecue. Ran into some copyright issues with that, so I had to switch it on over to Maisie's Barbecue. So Maisie is our English bulldog. So doing a lot of
pictures. I do love the pictures whenever you post her, by the way.
Yeah. We had my camera roll right now is just got a bunch of babies as well. So once you start having babies, the dog pictures start to take a little bit of a backseat. But she's doing good. And I had to close the door here in my office because she is an English bulldog. She does snore very loud, so you can hear her all throughout the house. So hopefully there's no audio interference with that.
We're fine with that anyways. We'll take dogs any day of the week anyways, Jordie, so you're good with that at least. Jordie, let's hope the Flyers beat the Penguins for the first time in my lifetime again since 2012, and we can talk round 2. How about that?
Let's go, baby.
Let's go, Flyers.
Flyered up.
Flyered up. By the way, did you make that t-shirt for the Flyered up on Barstool, by the way?
I got to be honest. I don't think that is still up for sale right now. I think that there might have been, speaking of copyright issues, the NHL is pretty diligent with that. So
I just wanted to ask, because people don't know this about Jordie. He had the Ghost Bear t-shirt, which I had bought back in the day when it came out. I lost it during many moves, and I've been trying to find another one. And I was asking Jordie if you had any extra, but you don't have any more.
Yeah, no, I think you lost one of the only of 250 of those that were ever sold.
Jordie, thank you for coming on the podcast. I appreciate it a lot. I really do, because I've been trying to get you on for a long time, and it's like good to have you back on the show again.